Let's get on with it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Right. Happy days. Welcome back. My last video in the, what is it, Arc Raider? Why is this doing that? Why? What is wrong with you? Right. Okay, well, go with that then. Right, so, yeah, the last video on Arc, my mic broke before the video, and I took it to the repair shop where the guys tried to make it live again, and no, it's dead. It is dead. Very, very, very dead. So, I have went and bought a new one. Fancy. It's really fancy, actually. It's a bit colour. Oops, breaking my light now. It's a bit colourful, as you can see. Why are you suddenly hitting the light? Why? Right. Okay. Wasn't doing that before. So yes, this is Ghost. Silly Ghost. Now, Last Caretaker. Right, let's go and load game. Right, here we go. We're in the Last Caretaker again. And my electricity and my self is dying very much. So, now, I've got some power in me, 50% will do, for the purpose of it all. Now, let's begin. Now, I want to show off the boat and sort of do a little tour of it. The last time I uploaded the Caretaker, it was the demo. And I talked about infinite power and such like. As you can see, I've done a lot since then. The full game for a start, not the demo. So yes, it's a bit of a mess. But the whole idea behind this boat is the fact I can produce everything on this boat to launch a ship, to launch a shuttle. I've done some looking into it. We're at the Exodus station now. I've done some looking into it, and yes, we need a lot of oxygen and a lot of methane for a start. So 2 oxygen tanks, 9,000 litres each, 18,000 litres, that's more than enough. You need about 12,000 litres to launch a ship, which isn't too hard to make. This thingamacontraption here, Saboteur, uses the carbon dioxide off a diesel engine to make oxygen and methane. I've still got the methane plugged into it, which is down here. So I've got 2 methane tanks. You only need about 3,000 litres of methane to launch a ship, there and abouts. Maybe it's slightly different on your playthrough, or even on my playthrough, because I've not actually done that myself yet. But, yep, I've got quite a lot going on here, to be fair. It's a bit of a mess. Now, let's talk about the Saboteur reactor. Now, there's a lot of ways where it won't work, and there's only one way it will work. I've seen a lot of issues and problems with these. I've seen people going online on Reddit and stuff like that, asking why it's not working. So, there's one reason why it isn't going to work. Now, if you've got all of these plugged in, these oxygen outlets plugged in to your oxygen tank fills up very quickly. And once that is full, the machine itself will only hold 17 litres. And once that 17 litres is full, the machine shuts off. It's chock to block, it's blocked up with oxygen, and it's not going to create any more methane, or vice versa. If it has a full tank of methane, it cannot hold a single ounce of methane in the tank, so it will just shut off immediately. And that will include the opposite gas that you're trying to produce. So if you're trying to produce oxygen and methane, the oxygen will fill up quicker, shutting off the machine before your methane tank is full. Simple way to disconnect. The simple thing to do is disconnect it. Just disconnect it, and then the oxygen will vent out of those, and you'll have all your lovely methane coming through into your methane tanks. These do take a while to fill up, by the way. They do take a while, and that's pretty much the reason why it isn't going to work. Obviously, water. You need fresh water and carbon dioxide as well for it to work. So plugging it into the ship, and also plugging in water as well. You've got this water pump here that's actually built onto the ship from the very start of the game. water purifier, water pump into the water pump into the purifier, then into this, or into a tank, then into this. It's probably a better option, to be honest, and it should work perfectly fine. Obviously you need electricity as well. I've got a dead switch up here for when I'm not using diesel. I just press this button, so I'd go down, activate the diesel engine, and press that switch and drive away. Now I get asked a couple of questions about the diesel engine and how you shut it off and use only electric. That was one thing that I was asked. Just pressing this button, that will turn off the diesel engine. Or on the electric engine, and you can use diesel only. If you want to save power in the boat, if you've not got much electricity left and you're not able to make any more, then that's also another shout, just to get you into land if you've got enough diesel to do that as well. So that is the oxygen and methane production. Now, if we go over here, we have this thing. This thing is the distillation tower. Now, exactly the same rules apply, and why it's not going to work is I've actually disconnected the petrol output, but so yes, if you're filling up with diesel and petrol tanks, say you've got 3 diesel tanks and you want to fill 1 petrol tank, so all your tanks are empty, brilliant, this thing will work fine if you've got it all connected and plugged in. You need oil for it to work as well, so as long as you've got plenty of oil going into it, plenty of electricity, it'll work just fine. But as soon as your petrol tank's full, or diesel tank, well, we'll just go with petrol tank just now, keep it simple. As soon as one of your tanks is full, say your petrol tank, it will shut down. It'll clog up with petrol and it won't be able to get rid of it, and the whole machine will just shut down. And that's why it's not going to work. So if you just unplug, I'll get my light on here, if you just unplug whichever tank you have that is full, it will create the other instead, and it will continuously do that until that is full and it will shut down. So yeah, pretty much it's simple as that, to be fair. And yeah, a lot of people on like Reddit and stuff like that ask the question, why does the distillation tower not work? That's why. Or you've done something silly and turn one of these off. Yes, does make a very loud noise, especially when it's producing. It makes a large beep to tell you that it's producing lots and lots of fuel. I don't know why it makes such a loud noise, to be honest with you. So solar panels. I did try to power the boat solely using solar panels and a battery array after I purchased the full game and not the tutorial. Didn't really work very well, to be honest, especially when you start adding a lot of equipment to the boat, because they don't produce enough power to fill up all the batteries that you could use over the night cycle powering of all the equipment. So I have added the wind turbines. You do have to keep on top of them. They do deteriorate quite quickly compared to the solar panels. They do last a long time. Like this one here, since I've made it, it's not even deteriorated 1%, and this deteriorated a little bit. This deteriorated a little bit. They deteriorate when they produce energy, but if you just keep on top of them, they're quite sustainable, especially when you're using your nets. I'm going to repair all these just now, and I am dying rapidly. Yes, you can die from fixing things. Right. And now some lovely juice for myself. Not gonna need too much. Not gonna need too much. Another thing that I didn't know about when I started this game was this. Mooring. These moorings here, which you plug into these little slots in the harbour side, drag your ship in. So without them, if you've not got the ship anchored or anything like that, the ship can just drift away, to be honest. Once it drifts away from a certain distance from you, it will automatically drop its anchors, which is a good feature, to be honest. If you fall off the boat when you are out at sea trying to catch some of these fish here, fish, and you fall off the boat after you've killed one of them. Hopefully you've killed it first, because that fish will kill you, and that's a guarantee. They are quite strong unless you've got a sniper rifle that can fire in water or such likes. But yeah, stay away from the sniper. They will destroy you. And another thing that they have fixed in a few of the updates. What's going on here? Right. One thing that they have fixed since the game was first released is you can actually stand on the shark, and the hit points for the dismantle tool isn't so small. However, I've now not got enough electricity to dismantle it, and this is where having everything on the boat can be quite tricky, because here we are. It's a lot easier to scrap the shark, dismantle the shark, and get all your bio flesh, and ooh, getting 6 aluminium scraps off of this one. Excellent. Oh, sugar. Well, can you reel this cable in? 1, 2, I'm pressing 2. Die. Where are these things? Right, we are safe for now. Yes, and I've noticed that when you dismantle a shark, it drops a lot of this debris around itself as well. So it doesn't always automatically collect everything when you dismantle it. Sometimes it scatters it about. Sometimes. Yes, so what else is there to talk about here? Yeah, so I've done the methane tanks, the fuel, stuff like that. Why do I have 2 fabricators? Well, I built that second fabricator to try and be quick and lazy, I suppose, to try and make more ammunition very quickly and fast, and I've just not dismantled it, to be honest. But, however, all my cargo boxes are actually in here anyway, so it's right next to the fabricator. So I usually use this one, and I don't really use this one very often. I could dismantle that one and utilise its materials to make more things, like I could fill the whole area with batteries or something like that. Not really 100% sure what I could do. World's the oyster. I could move the food processor through there. Talking about food processing, so I've only made 1 human. As soon as I was able to get to Lazarus and I set up the whole place, and I was able to get a human seed, get it into the Lazarus and stuff like that, I looked at the human's traits. You can pretty much engineer a human for a certain profession. So I wanted to go for a professor, which it's not hard to do, but at the very start of the game, there's a lot of running around that you have to do. So I wanted lots of ultimate genesis and stuff like that. I see a lot of people making humans that are only like life expectancy 70 years and such, whatever else have you. But if you're going to go and hunt a lot of sharks, then you're going to get a lot of materials to make likes of ultimate genesis and the really high quality nutrients and foods for your human. As you can see, this human here has got a life expectancy of 228 years, which is insane. And yeah, a bit heavy. Well, it's not on the heaviest side, it's a bit on the heavier side, wisdom, patience and stuff. And these are all the mental traits for the professor profession. Yes, I just realised that. So the mental attributes, that's it. Mental attributes for the profession, for professor. And yes, I managed to do that. It's my one and only human. And Lazarus. I've only just sort of opened up Lazarus, to be honest. And turn those on. I like how Lazarus is already powered by itself, which is pretty good. I don't have to worry about powering it all with my ship or anything like that. It's just already sort of powered for you, which is nice. However, how long does that last? Okay, I can't get that there then. Oh, that's nice. Little caretaker over there. Fancy stuff. Very retro tech in the game, scattered throughout. So I've not really explored the Exodus just yet. I've had a lot of computer problems, like when like with this mic. My computer actually fried the mic. That's what's happened to the mic. Is the computer fried it and fried it properly. Cup of tea. And yes, so anything else that I can really talk about here? Just more or less the layout of the ship, I suppose. That's really the only thing I've got kind of left to talk about. I've got 5 oil tanks, and I've got about the equal amount of diesel tanks as well. I've only got the 2 petrol tanks because I don't really use petrol much. I don't have a petrol generator or anything like that to generate electricity, especially when I've got all of this and all of these batteries. It's actually probably a very good idea to dismantle this. I'm thinking about it now. It's probably a very good idea to dismantle that and fill the whole area with just batteries. And in that way, there's definitely no way I'm running out of power, as long as I can maintain things for a while. And even then, if I filled the whole bottom area with just batteries, it could probably power this boat for a couple of days in electric only. But then again, I've got all my methane tanks are full, all my oxygen tanks are full, all my fuel tanks are full. So to be fair, how much electricity am I going to need to use now? I've filled everything up. Probably not much. And the boat itself in electric mode, it uses more power than what it did in the tutorial, simply due to the fact that I've got the supercharged headers on here. Yes, the super booster electric headers on here. Yeah, they do take more power, and that obviously takes more diesel, but you've got a lot more power and you can go faster. So this boat will go about 50 kilometers an hour, and that's about as fast as I can go currently. With the Last Caretaker still in the development, there's quite a lot of updates scheduled to be released in 2026, and we'll see more crafting possibilities. We'll see hopefully better storyline, dialogue. Hopefully, storyline is actually a good shout. It's in the Pico terminal, and you'll get it under the log data. And it's in this sort of green screen sort of terminal where you unlock all this stuff. Having a little commentary over it would be kind of nice. I know that could be quite costly and expensive to do, but maybe that's something that they will develop, is a little bit more commentary on some of this, like reading about the, where was it again? I've read a few of them. New Terra Love, for example, First Glance. Now, this is quite important to the story, the New Terra Love log, because you actually you quickly find out that they can't have kids, and they're the ones that are responsible for the human seeds and stuff like that. After the, where is it? Dolly the sheep? The Dolly Project, or Project Dolly? Where is it? It's in this list somewhere. Dolly Project, here we are. So yes, Dolly Project, and it talks about the cloning of the Dolly the sheep and stuff like that. Laughter was genuine. Flow, that was, yes. So there's quite a lot of story in the Pico dialogue, like the log data. So there's just no dialogue to go with it, which would be nice. You'd be able to hear the stories of the people in the story, the characters and stuff. So yeah, no, it's definitely, it's going in the right direction. I didn't really rate this game very highly when I first had a look at it, at the demo, and it's really grown on me. If you've not got it yet, definitely get it. It's really, really addictive. Maybe you could arrange your ship a lot better than mine. Mine's is just a mess. It is a mess of cables, wires, and I'm constantly trying to fight with these solar panels, but they're all required, they're all needed to power absolutely everything on board the ship all at once, because that's what I've been doing this entire time, is producing oxygen, methane, petrol, diesel, which then produced more oxygen, methane, just constantly going with that. And I went to the, where is it, Black Vein Station to top up all the oil, and it does last a while, but you do use quite a lot of it, hence why I've got so many oil tanks. But this one will be empty now. Yep, empties fairly quickly, but it's what it is. Oh yeah, also it generates plastic. It doesn't choke up with plastic, which is a good thing, because that'd be an absolute nightmare if it did, but it doesn't. So yeah, well, that's probably about as good as walk around as I could possibly do for the boat. Talked about the issues that you have with some of the equipment, why it doesn't work, constantly sticking on top of the typhoons to make sure that they keep on generating electricity. And this machine, obviously I can't show the machine working just now because I've got all my tanks are full, to be honest. Actually, you know what? No, let's do that. Let's demonstrate that. I'll just leave my human to sit there at the mercy of the bugs and creatures. I'm sure there'll be a tasty professor snack for them otherwise. So, anchors up, let's go. Now you can see everything's working away, and yep, you can see everything working away, and this is now going quite loud, by the way, very, very loud. And if I do something silly, like plug this all in, it will die. And this is where a lot of people have a lot of issues with it. But if I unplug this, because the petrol tanks are full, it's now not going to clog up the machine, and again, yes, it will stay running. And that's probably the best way, that's probably the best way you can showcase it. Yes, all of the fuel is going to pour out the bottom here, but it doesn't make a difference. It's not like we're going to set the boat on fire, which might be in a later update. But however, no, all of our cables are working as they should, all of our power is working as it should, and it's our fuel. So that's producing input 95 watts, and we have 95 watts going in. So all my wind turbines and my solar panels are in full demand for this alone, and obviously the electric motors on the boat itself as well. So if I go and turn off the diesel engine now, it will stop producing. Everything's come to a total stop and automatically shut down, because we're now no longer using diesel, and our diesel tanks have stayed full, as the machine no longer needs to. It's what it's basically done, it's just clogged up and shut itself down, because there's nowhere for the diesel to go. And exactly the same principle with this machine here is, like I said, and that's the only problems you're really going to encounter, and on Reddit and stuff like that, that's the answer to your problems, is the best way for it. Yeah, so that used quite a bit of oil out of this tank, just driving a wee bit away from the exit station, so bear that in mind when you're going on a long expedition. Probably better not to use diesel if it can be avoided. And let's just power this boat down. I could have just pressed space to anchor the boat. But yeah, I think that's it. So yeah, please like and subscribe. I'm going to upload a video on routine. I've had a bit of a playthrough through it. It's a lot harder than what it looks, by the way. Routine. So stay tuned for that. Thanks very much for watching the video. If you've got any suggestions on some games that you'd like me to play, let me know in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next one.